Hi. Among all non-fiction books, the stories of founders are almost exceptional. They are stories of great determination, passion, and achievement, and also a lot about failures. So, I read a book recently by Jessica Livingston. It's called Founders at Work. It talks about her experiences talking to different founders late in 2006. Some good lessons on what she could distill from her talks with different founders. The first lesson that she had from founders was they all started, almost a lot of them started with different product in their mind, and the end product was very different. Take for example Flickr. Flickr was not supposed to be a photo sharing website. It was supposed to be, when it started, one of the features in a video game that the founders was making was to share photos. At that time, the primary business model of photo sharing was to get prints. That's where the money came from. So had it gone through the research work, a market research on a photo sharing website, perhaps the idea of Flickr would not even have been born. So they were lucky in this fact that one of the features in an entirely different product that they took became the predominant business model, the business of the entire company. Similarly is the case of Blogger. When Blogger started, they were looking to make a project management tool, and one of the features was to ensure that people could write content and share it. Going forward, they kind of pivoted into making the entire project management tool. The idea was abandoned, and the blog platform Blogger, purchased by Google somewhere in 2002, became the predominant model for the team. Take also for example email. When email started, when Sabir Bhatia and Jack Smith started writing personal email, the idea of having a personal email was not mainstream. People mostly had work emails, and if you were to say somebody that I'd have an email outside of work, that was not the predominant thought. Hence, creating this in a market, in an era where people could not think of email beyond their work, they both got together and started this Hotmail, which later, with different email vendors, email service providers, the entire era of personal emails came into being. So it's not just that you require one idea. What you started off and what we end with can be very different. Even PayPal is an example of how this all started. They started by having a security simulator. Then they thought that the best way, one of the core need is to share credit card information in a secure way. One of the demo use cases was to transfer money. That became the predominant work of PayPal, and that's how it made it big. So that's an important point that we should note. The second few examples that Jessica Livingston talks about is, it's not just that you need an idea to move ahead. Sometimes a lot of good companies start without even having an idea. She gives the example of Netscape. When Netscape started, they didn't have an idea. They had a team. So, and they were looking at what can be done, what should we focus on, and discussing different ideas. Preliminarily, they had a team first, and then they were looking at different ideas, and then they finally thought about, okay, this is something that can work, and then they zeroed in Netscape. So having a team is more important than having an idea, because if you have a great team, then the idea you can work on any idea and make it successful. Sometimes one of the important things that to note is your personal problems and solutions for them can become a big business venture. Yahoo started with a collection of online bookmarks and That's how even Delicious started. Delicious started with having a way to share bookmarks and make something that other people want. In fact, Paul Graham of Y Combinator, the motto of Y Combinator is make something people want. So Jessica Livingston book on founders at work is has anecdotes from the lives of founders. It's a very good read. It will talk to you about the way founders started, the problems in their journey, and how they eventually made through in this artist journey. So good lessons from Founders at Work by Jessica Livingston. Have a read. We have a website called getrade.com where we have consolidated information in bit-sized manner from great books. It's great books summarized for you to have a distilled information, and you don't need to read the entire book. That's the idea. Have a great time, and thank you so much for watching this. Thank you.